In this episode, we start in Vera Lake, paddle across Vera, portage into Knife, and paddle up into the north arm of Knife Lake where we camped for the evening. It's something, all right. Vera to Knife. Second real portage of the year. Can hear my breath. Breathing pretty heavy. We just finished the 200 rod portage into Knife Lake out of Vera, and it was really cool. I ran into a partridge or a grouse, whatever you're inclined to calling them, on the side of the trail, and it was a female, and she didn't take off right away, and so that got me thinking there's probably something that she was trying to distract me from noticing. And so I started looking down in the underbrush, and I noticed some baby ones running around through there. Tried to get a little film with it with my other video camera. We'll see if it comes out, but it's kind of fun running into those things on the side of a portage, especially a long one like this 200 rods here. The downside was when I stopped to try to get a little video of it, the mosquitoes found me instantly, so I stayed there as long as I possibly could and then moved on down the trail. But hey, we're on Knife Lake now. We're planning on going all the way out through Saginaw on this trip. But we looked at the map and we're basically done portaging for today, and the rest of our trip only has about 90 rods of portages, so we're looking pretty good. So we're going to throw our gear here in the canoe and possibly toss a lure out the back as we paddle on and look for a campsite. We're working our way across Knife Lake right now, and a bit of a headwind we're going up against right now. So it's going all right. We've got some clouds kind of looming off in the distance. I mean, we've got ones right over the top of us, but the ones kind of around us are looking like they might be kicking out a little bit of rain. So we're going to paddle on up Knife here and work our way into the North Arm and kind of look for a campsite. We've got fishing rods out the back of both canoes right now, hoping to catch a little appetizer for dinner. But it's just super nice to be out here in the Boundary Waters. Great day for paddling, and I'll tell you what, being the first trip of the season, I'm going to be sleeping well tonight. Well, we finally set up camp for our end of our day here. We made it into Knife Lake. Started off in Moose and had a nice day of paddling. It took us about, I don't know, 7 hours or so to get in here. And we ran into a little bit of a headwind once we got onto Knife, but we worked our way through there and got to a really nice campsite here. We can look right down the lake, and I'll show you some more views of that in a little bit. But I just want to kind of show you what our camp looks like right now. If we flip back around over here, you can see we've got a fire going in the fire grate there. We just cooked up some dinner and now we're letting that fire die down a little bit. If we walk over this way, I can show you right back over there, we've got the Hennessy hammock set up. If you're not familiar with the Hennessy hammock, they're pretty nice. They incorporate a bug mesh across the top and the solid part that you sit on down below, and so when you climb in there, it's kind of like a cocoon, and it closes up around you and keeps the bugs out. It also has a rain fly in case it decides to rain on you. It keeps you nice and dry, and it's basically a camping hammock. We throw it along because it's nice to relax in there and get out of the bugs, and you can read and still get the breeze blowing through if you'd like that, and it's just a nice place to relax in the campsite. But you can see on the tree here we've got this little utensil holder wraps around the tree and ties around the other side. It's a nice way to set up your spoons and forks and knives and all that stuff right close to where you're going to be doing your eating, and it doesn't harm the tree, which is really nice. So we're not putting any nails or anything in to hold that thing up. It just wraps around and ties on the back side. So that's pretty nice. You can see Jim's tent there in the background. He got that all set up. And let me maneuver my way around through here, and I can show you my tent, which is down off the edge. We'll walk our way over here. So once again, there's Jim's tent, and down over the ledge there is my tent, sitting kind of down in a little low spot. I hope I stay dry this evening. And if I circle around here a little bit more, you can get kind of a profile view of what the Hennessy hammock looks like. Jim's in there reading right now, relaxing after a long day of paddling. But it sure is a nice, pretty campsite. You can really look down the length of Knife Lake, and it's a pretty spot. We kind of have some trees that are silhouetted on either side of the view. right there. You can kind of see what that looks like. It's a pretty spot to camp, let me tell you. Well, hey, thanks for joining us on this episode of BWCAcast.com. We've got a nice fire rolling over here, and we're heating up some water for some Russian tea before we kind of crawl into the tents there and let our muscles relax after a long day of paddling. We really enjoy that you take the time to come in and watch our shows here on the internet, and we love to hear feedback from people that are watching the show. And I've got to say, today we ran into our first crew of other people in the Boundary Waters that recognized us, and it was fun to actually see someone in person that watches the shows, and it's just great to hear people that, you know, that they're liking what we do, and we always try to show you what we find interesting in the Boundary Waters and what we love coming out here camping for. So if you have any ideas what you know, things that you really like about coming out here, please shoot us an email and we'll try to include those in an upcoming episode. You can do that at bwcacastfans@gmail.com. Jesse here, he's been shooting a lot of photos, just some really amazing shots he gets out here in the wilderness, and you can check those out over at jesseglass.com. He's got a lot of photos of the Boundary Waters and other places around the country and the world that are just some pretty shots. So for all of us here at bwcacast.com, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.